Welcome to the NiNe Show. This is the land where there's constant chaos.
Welcome to the
NiNe Show, or the NiNe Show. The NiNe Show.
the NiNe Show.
Got myself
My shoulders are so wide I can't even fit in the screen.
Actually, sometimes I really feel like I'm dumber than myself.
Technically, it's because you suck.
Yep,
But
that
we
is true.
I don't know what to say.
I like how you're like hitting yourself on the head when you're trying to.
Yeah, I'm like, think.
I'm like, fuck, like we think the same. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the NiNe Show. This episode, we are talking about decider functions, DE and DI, that is extroverted decider and introverted decider. More specifically, the extroverted deciders are TE, extroverted thinking, FE, extroverted feeling, and the introverted deciders are TI, which is introverted thinking, and FI, which is introverted feeling. And the first person to take us away is going to be Asees. Asees, give us your perspective on, firstly, just DE versus DI, and then if you want to dive into the functions of each one, the thinking and feeling, let us know. Firstly, what is yours? What do you have in your stack?
I have TI as a savior second and FE as a demon third.
Nice.
So the main difference between, like the most general difference between DE and DI, I would sort of express as who's making the decisions, and it's as far as like I see my mom doing the DE, and it feels so roundabout to me as a DI. So DE's generally going to be getting the decisions from a sort of a spectrum of people, and I don't give a shit about you guys because you're retarded. So so it feels so strange because I'm like let's say with my mom, I'm like, you're still making, like, it's good to get the other people's perspectives about it, but like you don't realize that you're still making your decision on them. Like you're still like, I could give you all the advice, everybody would agree with me, but if you don't agree with it, you're just killing yourself. I get my ass caught in the opposite way though, where like I don't listen to people enough. So it does have its pros and cons.
So you'd say like the lead DEs, like they'll they'll make a decision for the general tribe, but not necessarily take into consideration individual opinions or decisions.
Yes. Yeah, and that's part of it too, where they don't because they don't, like, especially if they don't understand themselves properly and they don't give themselves enough respect, they can't if they can't give their own DI any respect, then they can't give other people's DIs respect.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Because that's like, you have to put the introverted function into like you widen it out with its extroverted counterpart, and the introverted counterpart gives the extroverted part the depth behind it, like the meaning, like I am actually a person, Leon is actually a person. We're not just two people that are like mouthpieces or whatever.
Yeah.
Can you make it like super nerdy science and like give an analogy of like cells in the body all kind of working together, and they are individual and all have their own role, and some of them are weaker than others and some of them are stronger than others? And like
You basically
just did it, dude.
we're not oatmeal, dude. We're not oatmeal. That's what I'm trying to say.
That was a good analogy, Leon.
Love you though, Manny.
Love you too, man.
Nice, man. So do you have any like thoughts on the functions specifically, like the feeling functions and the thinking functions?
What about FI and TE? List those.
Yeah, I didn't miss them. I just
Oh,
talked
excuse
about.
me.
Correction.
Yeah, it's sort of like okay, so let's talk about the difference between the letters between like let's say like TI and TE and FI and FE. So like TI versus TE, um, and I see this both with like Leon and to some extent with Jonathan. It does feel more so with Leon because he has masculine second. Um, it's very much. It feels to me scattered, and it's sort of like he's throwing shit at the wall and I'm saying yes or no. Like,
What am I? I'm like what, a shotgun or machine gun just blasting away, and you're like a very calculated, precise.
yeah, like a 50
Yeah.
cal, like,
Yes.
And
I
so
love guns, guys.
yeah, guns are awesome. We need to have an episode on guns, but it's
Pull out our
very
guns
much.
now.
All right, let's do it.
Damn, look at that gun.
It's my little one. Got a bigger one that you can't see.
Yeah, right here.
I got nukes right here too.
Nice.
Um,
So T is a
But,
shotgun.
yeah, more technically, it's like I'm sort of building my own system of logic. It's sort of like a scheme, and it works most strongly with my NE to sort of deal with new information and make connections. Whereas with TE, it's sort of like the TE has more of the scheme aspects inside of it, and then it works with in Leon's case his NI to sort of make it happen for other people. And so it does feel like he is less selfish with the ideas, like in the most basic way, and that I am sort of I feel like an OI bastard when it comes to thinking compared to him.
I was gonna say, who do you think generally has more ideas, or is that not matter at all?
Well, because that's actually a really good point. So ideas like is a very vague term because it's like you can have like you could have like N ideas or T ideas, and so it's like my ideas are more sort of like stating potentials through my NE, and then your ideas are like what like sort of things that you could act on, and so it's like you have like little packets of logic, and then with your TE and then with my NE I have sort of packets of possibility or connections, and so it's
We're
like,
just squirting them all over the place too.
Damn.
Squirting those packets.
yeah, that's really what it feels like. And so I know that he feels the same way to my TI that I feel with his NI. So,
Okay.
but then with FI and FE, it's sort of like FI is really weird to me because masculine FI especially, I feel I have it's sort of like so it clumps the feelings together, and it just sort of irks me, like, because it's not only is it masculine, which is the opposite of mine, it's also introverted, which is also opposite of mine, and so it's like it's jarring almost because it's like, don't move me, I don't want to be moved, and I can barely move myself.
So true.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually really interesting. Sorry, you guys aren't getting much airtime yet, but from hanging out with Asees the past few days, I noticed. Well, the other day he like landed really hard on his hip at a playground because we were being children, and it looked really painful. And he was getting up and kind of ignoring the pain. I don't know if he's just got a good poker face or whatever it is, but we were like walking, and me and my girlfriend were walking, noticing, hey, Asees is way back there. Like, And then we're asking him if he's okay. He's like, yeah, I'm okay. But it's like, do you really know how you feel though? Like that freaking looked like it hurt. And then he was just like, I don't really feel it. I just can't move it. I'm like, are you sure? Like, that's demon feeling? Oh my goodness. Like, and it makes sense because my dad's like very like, well, he's sleep first. So I think he would be a little bit more aware, but I'm still demon feeling because his feeling's double activated. But he would ignore it having TI, I think.
Ignore those feelings, man.
It was more like I was moving in such a way that it wouldn't hurt. Like basically I couldn't really move it all too much. Like let's say this is the whatever, like the part that it connects to the rest of the body, and then this is the leg. Like I couldn't really move it like this. So I kind of had to like shift to like this side, and then I had to just kind of like sort of inch forward, and then and so I was basically just making it making do with what I had, and it, like if I sort of operate within the confines that have been placed upon me, then I can then I could at least not fucking ruin the thing that we were
Find
doing.
another way to ignore feelings.
Is that also?
Help
Is
me
that
do
also? Sorry, is that also like the difference between feminine and masculine sensory? Because I'm completely different. Like I'm sensitive.
That might be
Like-
another thing too.
Like
in the sensory.
I don't even. Yeah, if something's annoying, like I can feel a physical ailment. It will really take my focus away from whatever I'm trying
Me
to do.
too.
So I'm really sensitive. So I think it might be feminine feeling and feminine sensory, like how you
Mhm.
feel in the physical
I
reality.
just get
It's
fucked up
just-
so much I'm not even doesn't even faze me anymore.
Yeah.
The feelings are movable. All right.
Mhm.
And you'd be the perfect. Never mind.
All right, I'll give my perspective. So I wanted to cover just DE and DI, like just from a very general perspective. So DE, in the most simplest terms, is extroverted decider making decisions based on the values or reasons of the collective tribe. And the DI is basically the opposite. It's making decisions based on the values or the reasons of the individual. So you've got a spectrum, or you have very narrow, pointed, but also deep. So more specifically, TE, which is my third function, it's just considering reasons of others. Like the focus is on wanting to create something that works for the tribe using like external reasons and logic to build something pragmatic. And that kind of manifests from me, like in my job, I work in IT and I'm creating solutions. And when I'm bringing ideas to people, I'm really trying to consider like everyone. I'm trying to consider, okay, how is this going to work for people? Like I need to be able to communicate this in a way that caters for everyone, that can be used really easily by people. I'm actually building an onboarding system, which is just a process, but it's really considering like that any person will be able to pick up this system or this checklist and just be able to work through it in the most simplest way possible. So I'm really considering, basically I'm dumbing shit down so it's easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the TIs are like, oh man, this is like, they want to go and create something much more complex. Like, how do you do this, and this? I'm like, well, no, that's got too many moving parts, man. That could fall apart, and not everyone's that smart. So
I always get upset when Asees uses some huge words that like only like people that have a doctorate degree might understand if they actually paid attention. Like, dude, make it easy. Yeah. I understand.
And it's funny, Asees, you say like FI is the weirdest thing for you, whereas I think like that with TI, it's that like and it's hard for me to describe. Like it's hard for me to understand TI, but I really see people with TI like always need like to be very correct. It's like things have to be incredibly accurate. Like if you're saying something that's potentially off a little bit, or there's like you've used a word incorrectly, it's like no.
Because it's like that's my like operating framework, and if I get that wrong, I'm fucked. Like
it's like TI is likened to like code or like programming or something. If there's one bit of code that's wrong, the whole system shuts down.
So
that's actually a good. Sorry, go on.
Oh no, you can blast.
That's actually a really good description about code, because not only is it like the code has to be right, but if it is right, it's like iterative. So it's self-serving. It'll continue to produce whatever products. You want to get the code right because you
Right.
feel like it'll have everlasting
Right.
benefit. Where TE is like moment to moment, this has to work.
Yeah, and
So
it can
I-
change.
TI feels like
right?
these principles are gonna be. It's like a framework, so it's
A
systematic.
solid
kind of
framework.
thing. Yeah.
So if TI is more precise logic and more refined ideas, then I would assume that FI is the same in terms of feelings.
Feelings,
Like
yeah.
they're more intense feelings, and feminine or masculine, whatever. They're just more not. People say FE is a little more surface level, more basic. Just like TE might be just throwing ideas out.
Yeah, surface level logic.
So I guess we can
It-
kind of
yeah.
relate then with the FE, like the hi, how are you?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, I
can't-
sort of
I can't
had
do that.
to, like, when I was, and I still am to some extent, but like the hardest time when I was sort of figuring out my FE, like what the hell even is this, was like sort of like middle school to like early high school days. And I realized that like I literally don't feel as much as other people, so I have to like sort of exaggerate how much I do.
He needs to get some
And
help.
so yeah, I have to like exaggerate my emotions because like, and I noticed that like specifically like when I'm having conflict like with my mom or like or like I'm trying to express how I feel to my girlfriend, like if like I can just tell you how I'm feeling, like straight, like I deadpan, and like I'm not lying, but like you're like, what the fuck is this asshole talking about? Like you're telling me how you feel, but like you're not showing it at all. And I'm like, oh,
Right.
okay, I have
I'm
to show
so
you.
disturbed.
Yeah, it feels like so shallow, like I have to pretend it, and it does feel like I'm pretending to some degree, but like I know I'm just like it's just part of my expression to get you to understand.
Oh, I have a question now. So
Yeah.
like FE, how we were talking that it's more like widespread and like FI is more clumped and stuff. So does that mean that I could have multiple emotions at once, and that's what is intensifying my feelings, where yours is like, okay, I got to pick this one because this is the most like whatever, or just
It's
What
is
does
it
a
the
tribe want me to
opposite?
feel?
That's part of it. It's sort of like I've learned. I'm sort of learning the range of. I'm learning my range of emotion from other people. Like especially because it's a demon, and I'm not so aware of it. Especially because and then it's extroverted. I have to look to other people to see, like what is like possible almost. And so, like with this sort of intensity, I feel like I feel multiple things. Like I think most people to feel multiple things at any given time, but then it's like you just focus on like the most relevant or powerful one, or two. But it's usually the case that one stands out just that much. But like I feel like with FI, like it's like you're going like this, neck yourself. It's all like converging, and it's like a black hole of emotion that would just like sucks everything in, and it's sort of like the emotions clumping together, and then like you're sort of like, because like when I feel it, I'll be able to like just like sort of segment them
exactly.
off,
Yeah.
and I'll sort of keep them separate. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Whereas like FI will like not only feel them at the same time, but then also put them together, and then that's where the intensification comes in.
Yeah, it's like intense feelings, and it's to the point where it actually changes you, like physically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm mad.
But yeah, they just say I'm mad, but it's like I am annoyed. I am like it's depressed. I am tired. Like all in one. I'm like everything. I'm every emotion that's negative at once, or I'm all negative. I'm all positive emotions at once.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's hard.
Let's-
Like when people say "How are you?" Like I literally can't figure it out and tell you the same way that you want to hear it. And then they don't want to listen to it because it's so harsh, like so bleh.
Yeah.
Manny,
Oh,
give us some more, give
Yeah.
us some info, give us some of your
So
perspective.
I was gonna talk about. Well, I'll first address what you guys are saying because it's really interesting. About like I basically agree with like most of what Asees is saying. The only difference is I think because FE's second in my stack, it's like I have more access to it. I kind of feel like I constantly feel my emotions are there, but they're just really annoying. They're just this annoying thing.
Sting in the
I'm just
way.
trying to shove it away. So it's not that I'm unaware. They're just almost annoying, and I don't know what to do with them. So I'm like, just like go away. But aside from that, I agree with everything. And the whole FI clumping and then the FE spreading it out. It's like that is kind of what happens because like I guess even like in conversations with people that for like my girlfriend, if she's feeling, I think she's ISFP, if she's feeling some kind of way about something, she won't necessarily describe it and break things out. She'll just kind of just have her emotions there. Then if I see that, I have to explain to her, I think you're upset about this thing, but you're stressed about this thing. And I'll like, it's also knowing what context the emotions are tied to. That's what FE does. It's like aware of the different contexts that each emotion is connected to. So I think that's also what FE does to separate it. So yeah, that was adding on to what you guys said.
Yeah.
And the other thing I was going to talk about, I was going to bring some NF into this.
Bring it, boy.
So you guys did a fantastic job at talking about the functions and like the really technical aspect. So I was just going to talk about more the general experience of being tribe versus self and like how it plays out and
Nice.
how it is in real life. So like basically everyone cares about, you know, the tribe and then their own accountability. So everyone's self and tribe caring. So it's not like the self over tribe person just doesn't care at all of what people think. And it's not like the tribe person just has no regard of their own well-being or, you know. So we all do. It's just that all it is, it's just you feel like sacrificing one is worse than sacrificing the other. So
Right.
like in my language, and when I'm telling someone I'm choosing my DI over the DE, it's like I have to say sorry, but I have to do X. It's like I feel like I have to. It's like not doing this, not following my DI will be worse. It'll be a much worse consequence than not following DE. So it's not like
Obligation.
yeah, exactly. So it's painful. So from a DI perspective, personally, it doesn't feel good. Like whenever I'm in a situation and I'm actively choosing the DI over DE, I don't get like a rush of endorphins. Like, yeah, this feels good. You feel uncomfortable
Feel like
about
you're
the
cutting
situation.
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's
You
like
feel like you're sacrificing everything.
you feel it feels uncomfortable to like fuck people over, but it just feels like you're avoiding a bigger problem by maintaining your integrity because that's what all you feel like you have kind
Like,
of thing.
are you gonna cut yourself or cut somebody else? What's easier for you?
And I guess I mean that sounds pretty
That's super
deep.
extreme, but
That sounds pretty deep, but yeah. In general, like that's kind of how it is. And there's kind of like an NF concept I had of what DI and DE kind of seem like. So DI kind of reminds me of the phenomena of like an argument, right? And like one person has their own view and the other person has theirs. And like there's a gap between them, there's a clear divide. And I'm not like talking about like a productive argument where you're engaging with the person and you're both like connecting. I mean like arguments where you each have your own perspectives and there's no resolve. Like you just have your opinions. And like at the end of these arguments, there's never like a good feeling like as an outcome. It's like when you're like, oh yeah, you know, fuck them, and you just go your own way. Like there's no good feeling about it. There's nothing positive. It's like a division. It's a complete separation, and it doesn't have like a good production. So that's one thing about DI that is interesting. It's self-protective as opposed to as opposed to like progressive.
Right.
That's where I think DE is the opposite because it's union. Even though it seems shallow, it is kind of pushing things forward and making things productive. I think that's hence why people feel good about connecting because like we're social animals. So you know the DI is the whole argument phenomena and DE is like, you know, let's bring this together. Let's find something positive. So
try to find a resolve.
NF. Yeah, so that's like an NF idea of all of this, basically, that I had. So
nice.
I Do you think people have to understand somebody else's DI to a good degree in order to get a point across, or to bring them together, or to have a good like persuasion going on? Or do you
Yeah,
think it's
I think so. I think you need to be aware of each individual's reasons and values and why, if they're upset about something in a situation, you need to understand their perspective. Because when you understand the
Yeah.
perspectives of each, that's when you can create, the solution to meet
Yeah.
the middle.
Yeah, I
so?
agree.
So you need to have NI and DE to do that. So you
Or
need a
any.
blast,
You said any, dude. Any can say anything. Anything.
but you need a
in general,
blast to persuade.
in
True.
general, I think it is just like almost you have to kind of let go of yourself in that situation a little bit. Like let go of like it's like what Asees did, where it's like it's turning and looking at yourself. You kind of have to just turn around. And then
So you
just
have
look.
to know their DI
Look up.
and let go of your DI, or loosen the grip on your DI.
Yeah. Need to
Yeah,
loosen it
like
up.
those things are happening at the same time.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Because if you're such a tight ass, you're not gonna be able to see when you actually do agree.
Exactly.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's,
Everybody
I
do
agree.
your demon functions. Use your inferior function to make them strong.
Yep. Every day.
All of your
Flex-
functions are inferior.
Flex them every day.
That's not cool, man. I thought we were friends. I'm gonna duel with you after the show. No, not like that.
No. Oh, God.
I feel like the Hodge twins.
The what?
The
Hodge-
Hodge twins,
Give me
man.
some room.
The
Oh, I
Hodge
love
twins.
those guys. The Hodge twins.
Oh, the
Fuck out the
Hudsons?
way, man.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Like,
you're definitely
they're hella
key.
funny. You need to watch.
I'm too old.
Yeah, I am definitely Keith.
Yeah, and you're on the
He's
right
Kevin.
side as well. You're both on the right side. Keith and Kevin. Oh man.
Very cool.
Be quiet. Stop.
Come on, man, you're messing up the video.
Yo, did you guys have any more closing thoughts on DI, DE? Leon, you've been coming in every now and then on what us three had to say. We haven't really had
I'm playing
your
the
own.
consume role today.
Nice, dude. I like it. It's a nice change.
Are you saying
Oh,
that I
I'll-
talk too much?
If you want to assume that, sure.
No, that's not a strong enough adjective.
What's it?
Yo,
Let's not go on a tangent. Yeah,
I don't
got-
have
I
much
got-
to add.
I got stuff to say about TI and TE.
tell us.
Okay, so TE, I was talking to you about this, wasn't I, John? I was saying how TE is fast.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like dealing with things in terms of outcomes. It makes it kind of quick. It's very situational, just like all the extroverted functions. It's very like trying to deal with the kind of external manifestation, like, oh, this works for everyone. Like you can see it. Everyone can see this works for everyone. It's like It's using that kind of metric, right?
Yeah.
So it's really fast. It's really good at troubleshooting, and most things don't need complex thinking. Most things. That's why, like, I do NVT, because in most situations they kind of
What's
just
that?
seem. Oh, most things in life that you deal with
Right.
don't need to be overthought. They don't need like complex thinking. You know, it kind of needs maybe a few layers of thinking, and then you move on to the next thing. You have so many things being thrown at you. You need to be kind of quick. So
Yeah, sure.
I always kind of envy TE people, because they really do kind of seem smart in a way. It's like efficient. Like they're dealing with things without expending too much of their cognitive capacity at that thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I do like TE. TI is good for the things that can't be dealt with simply, and you need that complex thinking. And they're gonna really take their time with it. And the only downfall I have is I overthink things too much, like moment to moment. And it might also be because my TI is third in the stack. I imagine Asees is a bit more functionally able to be flexible with these TI. Mine's very like, I don't know, like
You also sleep
first. Yeah, I'm also sleep
Yeah.
first. So it's
Well,
I just know I'm slow. I just know I'm slow, basically.
Asees, you're going to say
That's-
something about what Manny was saying.
Yeah, you Odom and you, Jonathan, you guys both said something that I forgot to reply to you, Jonathan, about it, but the SITE nature of school is exactly why I hate it, because I just happen to be one of the people that it doesn't work for, and I get fucked, you know.
They should change it then. If it's not working for the tribe.
It's not working for you. They should change
It's not
it.
working. Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Technically, they're making it so that you work for them, so it doesn't matter. That's my T.
That's TE right there.
Cool.
Fuck your TI. Leon says.
Yeah, I mean, it's structured exactly like job. You know, you learn how to submit. You learn how to. I'm not even going to go on a tangent right now.
Dude, I hated school, man.
School is for some people. Let's say that, and a lot of those people do a lot of good things in our communities, and it's just not for us. And that's why we're here on YouTube.
Thanks for the doctors and all the teachers and people that help us with things in life.
Shout out to Double G and good Sam and everybody else that taught me all I know.
Yeah, I think school's pretty sick. I'm gonna be the contrarian here.
Sure.
No, it does its purpose.
Sure, if they focus more on NF topics, that'd be great.
Okay, they need to have like classes for
They do.
the ST class, ST class, SF class.
This is why.
NT class,
This is
and-
why, like objective personality needs to like get taught in school. Like, separate all the people into the different temperaments and let them learn the way they learn.
Oh, I don't know exactly about that, because then I feel like you wouldn't learn as much as you could by interacting with people that are different. You need to work with
Not
them.
all the
you
time, but,
create
like,
limiting beliefs.
Yeah, you'd
kinda.
have like things that like counterbalance each other, you know, to focus on the demons and focus on their strengths. But you obviously want to cater to their saviors, right? But then you'd have like maybe, you know, 10 minutes or 30 minutes a day where it's like demon working time, and then you go cross temperaments or something.
I
So
wonder
just
if
create a
advanced
solution on the
placement
spot.
would have a. What about advanced placements classes or courses that have a more sped up curriculum and it was more deep and all these things? Like, would it strictly be because this subject is slightly more related to NT versus ST and your NT stronger or whatever?
That would play part of it, because temperament basically just tells you where you're going to apply your brain power.
Dude, we totally went on a huge tangent. Let's cut it off, man.
No way. This is a
No,
man.
no,
People
it's
love
fine.
this shit.
Yeah,
Keep going.
let's keep it going.
All right.
We're just demonstrating the deciders.
I'm having
now.
fun. I'm just okay. That's a good point. This isn't for no reason.
You know something interesting? I think kind of like what Dave and Shannon say, where they say, you know, if you have a function, whether it's NI or NE, it's basically doing the same thing. I think that plays out a lot in the sense that in the Facebook group, there's a guy called Uzair who's TINI, and we were both saying how when we watched, you know, Lindsay's video, she's an INTJ, an ITE. We relate to like pretty much everything she says, but we can't see the difference between our TI and her TE. And it's almost like the pairing of NT overshadows that, or like just the fact that it's just NI and T. So I feel like even though we're describing these things in these broken out ways, I think most of the time, it's hard to separate what each function's doing, just because the way they work together is just so in sync. I don't know. That's all I was trying to say.
Do you remember what we said yesterday when we were walking to the other end of the park about introverted deciders are going to have a harder time blank? Like, you said something genius, and I think it'd be perfect for the video. Or we might have a harder time seeing I don't know if those tidal waves or something about deciders. We were talking about deciders, and it was beautiful.
I don't know. Can you give me? You just have to give me more information until it comes
some
to
more
me.
data.
Yeah.
Well, because we were talking about TI versus TE,
Uh-huh.
and then the complexity of TI and the simplicity of TE, and you know, we just moved into FI and FE, and you said that something would be harder for the other.
Fuck.
That FSI, man, it's not happening.
I know. I thought I gave him enough time of the timeline exactly.
Yeah.
Where it was
No,
like
I remember we were
2:24.
walking down the hill and we were about to go to that place. if I had more time, then I could probably work. It'll take me the whole fucking day, man. It'll come.
Oh god, Leon, just try to remember for him. Just like blast it out. Just
No.
What was it? What was it about?
Yikes.
Was it about?
Yeah, do you remember the idea?
No, it was just relating to the extroverted and introverted functions, and I think it might be like somewhat related to tidal waves or something. Because like,
But obviously,
Oh,
it was
if you have,
something
like-
great since you
if you
remember
have
it.
SI and like FI or whatever, you're not going to see the tidal waves as much as you would if somebody had like SC and like FE or something.
Oh, this is how.
Because they're extroverted, they're
There
poured
it
out. But there was
is.
more to it that you said. You like really dug into it.
Oh, you mean like how? Do you mean like how? Was it was at the park, right? Not last night when we
I
were.
was at the park.
Are you talking about? I said that. Oh, let me word it. It's harder to do introverted demons.
Oh yeah, I think it was like that. Yeah, it's harder to do introverted demons. Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Okay, yeah, that was
Go into it. Go into it.
Yeah. Yeah, basically it's like and I gave Leon the example of like how with my OI, like I know I could totally fucking just almost skip my OI entirely for like the next 40 years and like be alive, you know, but like I know that I would be fucked up ass if I didn't do that, or if I didn't do as I should, because it's like I can't, you know, the whole reason you do your demons is so that they get out of the way of your savior, so that you can actually do what you're
Supposed to do.
mentally supposed to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's a little harder to work on the introverted functions because you have to make that decision. Nothing external or no one else can make you want to do that except you. You know, even if like lots of people like Jordan Peterson or whatever. So let's use Jordan Peterson as an example. If Jordan Peterson said something that made you do it, he didn't make you do it. You did it. He just happened to say it
You
away.
made the decision.
Yeah, you made the decision to do that.
Like-
And with extroverted, when you have extroverted functions as demons, it's like you're always like the outside world, whether you know it's things or people, it's constantly pulling that out. So it's like you almost have to do it.
Yeah.
No, just
That's a
like
really
with
good point.
blast.
Very good point.
You know,
Like you can't get away without using FE and TE because somebody's going to oppose you.
mhm,
You know, like you can't
Yeah.
get away with them.
mhm.
I think that's funny because like I have the double masculine demons. Like I have to get the facts straight before I make the complete argument, and I have to properly deal with the thinking and reasoning of others in order for anything to get done in my life. And it's like I hate doing it. Like supposedly, like I mean, I'm taking responsibility for it now, but like it's just so like like I had to learn it early, like shoved and forced on me, which is
Yeah.
good because
Yeah.
I appreciate who I've become so quickly.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
That was a really good point, and that was a good way to finish this video. That's it for this episode. As you guys know, we talked about deciders, extroverted and introverted. Went on some tangents towards the end, but I think we got some awesome info out of that. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you have a good day. Leave us some comments below. We want more interaction from you guys. Thank you for those that have commented. We will respond to every comment because we love interacting with the tribe. So thank you, and we'll see you guys soon.
In the land of chaos.
Peace out.
Next time.
Boom.
The upside down salute, man. Love it.
Yeah.
Oh god, how the fuck did you do that, man?
Oh, that hurts.
The feminine sensory is bending your arm.
Kind of like tore a ligament. Just
Bending reality.
Yeah, look, man. This
Fuck, man. It's not right.